Welcome back to another episode of The John, your daily sports dump, where we plunge in the sports world. We are a sports pipeline for breaking news, game recaps, and the hottest takes in the sports industry. So while taking care of business, let us suss out the details and fill you in on what's happening. So take a seat, get comfortable, and make sure you have plenty of TP. It's time to explode the commode. I'm your host, John, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some of my takes from the Division Series so far. I have 3 takes for you guys. 1, the Dodgers bullpen can be a real issue coming down if in this postseason, especially if the Dodgers make it far. Number 2, the Cubs were a one-series wonder against the Padres. And number 3, the Mariners are even more legit than I thought they were. All right, guys, let's start with the Dodgers bullpen. Let me give you guys some stats to back up my argument, why I think the Dodgers bullpen is a very scary thing. Yes, they're up 2-0, but if you guys watched that game last night, it was a very scary game for the Dodgers, and I think you're playing a dangerous Philly team. I know you beat them once, you beat them twice at home, but still, this is a very scary Phillies lineup that can flip it over just like that. The Dodgers bullpen posted a 4.27 ERA. They had a WHIP of 1.3, and they recorded 46 saves. Not terrible, right? Their bullpen ERA is a little high, but their save percentage was only 63%, and they blew 27 saves. In the league rankings, their bullpen by ERA was 21st in 2025, guys. So their bullpen, which usually is very strong, Blake Trinan, Alex Vesia, a solid bullpen, Kirby Yates, they've built a solid bullpen. You think they have a solid amount of talent. You think they would be able to really, and it wasn't. It was very shaky throughout the whole year, and in the playoffs it's been really shaky. Against the Reds, not really, but you took a big step up when you played the Phillies, and it showed. Yes, I know they're up 2-0, and yes, I know I might sound dumb saying this, but this bullpen really scares me. They scared me last night. Dodgers were up 4-1 going into the 9th inning. They had, I think, 3 or 4 different pitchers in that inning alone. Trinan, Vesia, and Sasaki came in to get the last out. That shouldn't happen. And why is Blake Trinan on your playoff roster? The dude had a 5.7 ERA on the season. Why is he on your playoff roster? I do not understand that at all. And the inconsistencies is you're relying on your starters, which is not bad. The Dodgers have a really great starting rotation. We all know this. Blake Snell, right? Shohei, you got Yamamoto. You have a great starters, right? That's good. But you can't rely on them to go 7+ innings every single game. That is not realistic, especially in playoff. Not everybody's going to have their best game of the season. So it's unrealistic for them to keep on relying on their starters, and their bullpen has really bitten them in the butt. Yes, they haven't lost a game this postseason. I completely understand that, but the bullpen is below average in ERA and in blown saves, and it shows signs that the signs are being shown that there's some issues, and especially if they make a deep postseason run, you're going to be relying on your bullpen. When your starters are starting to get tired and run out of energy, you're going to be relying on your bullpen, and you can't do it anymore. Shohei Ohtani is a great starter. Blake Snell, great starter. Right? Yamamoto, great starter. Those are the only 3 guys we've seen so far. So what else can your bullpen do? I know you have Glass now in there, and Clayton Kershaw, and some of your other starters in there that are usually starters are in your pen now. Okay, but that still doesn't. You still have guys like Blake Trinan. I'm really focused on Blake Trinan. Guy's almost a 6 ERA, and he made the playoff roster. That should not how it should work. My next take is kind of about the Cubs pitching, but overall their lineup in general. The Cubs, I think, are a one-series wonder. I think that Padres series, they got lucky because the Padres didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, and besides their top 3 guys, there's top 4 or 5 guys, there's no one in the lineup that's really scary. Yes, I will admit I was wrong. I thought they were going to lose to the Padres. I'll admit that. I'm not hurt to admit it. I was wrong. But the Brewers are showing them what's up. The Cubs play 1 good inning of baseball offensively, or a half of an inning of baseball offensively. The rest of that, they cannot. If it was one of my buddies posted a TikTok, Court Pods, I'll put his link in the description, posted a TikTok about how the Cubs would be amazing, and it was a picture of Kobe Bryant and Shaq lifting up the NBA Finals trophy if it was the Cubs after 1 inning of baseball. and I would say 1/2 of baseball, because when it comes to their pitching, especially against the Brewers, it's been terrible. You start game 1 off, lead off home run, great start. You get up 8 runs in the first inning. Your starter doesn't even make it out of the first inning. Then you start game 2 with a great start. Seiya Suzuki, 3-run homer, absolute bomb, great start. You give up another 3-run homer to Andrew Vaughn, and then Churio, then Contreras, then it all piles on, and we know how great this Brewers team is. But let me give you guys some stats. The Cubs' overall pitching staff ERA, so this is bullpen and starters combined, is a 3.79 ERA. They recorded 44 saves, right? Not terrible. Their FIP is a 3.8, which is not terrible, and their WHIP is a 1.2. So, right, very similar in WHIP and in a lot of the senses to the Dodgers, bullpen and starting rotation. But a big issue that they had is before the big trade for me that has really made their bullpen and their pitching really iffy is before you got Chris Flexen, this bullpen was one of the worst in baseball. Top 10, 8th worst in baseball. Before you got Chris Flexen, you guys had an ERA of 4.6. Since then, they've had a 1.9, but their starters have not been able to hold up, and it showed in this series. Matthew Boyd, and this is what happens when you lose Cade Horton. Matthew Boyd should not be your game 1 starter. Right, he played well against the Padres, but the Brewers are a completely different animal. You should have started Shota. I don't know if that would have been a different result, but I would have liked Shota and Tyone more than Boyd and Shota in game 1. The starters' pitching has not done enough for this offense. This offense, the Cubs hit the ball out of the ballpark. You guys know as well as I do, they're one of the best home run hitting teams in baseball. All they do is hit home runs. You need to have somewhat solid starting pitching to back that up, and right now the Cubs starting pitching is terrible. Your starters in the 2 games that you have played against the Brewers, your starters have went a combined 3 1/3 innings in 2 games. So in 18 innings of baseball, your 2 starters have went 3 1/3. That's something that should never happen. That is something that that's something that does not happen to playoff teams. If that's happening to your playoff team, that's an issue. And your starters have given up 6 earned runs in those 3 1/3 innings. That's not the recipe for winning, especially if you want to beat the Brewers. The Brewers are not going to give up a lot of runs. So you cannot give up. And if your starters are giving up 6 runs, you're not going to win. And their bullpen, on the other hand, has given up 6 runs in 12 in basically 2/3 innings. So your bullpen has done so much of the carrying. If your starters could simply get 4 or 5 innings of 1 to 2 earned run baseball, it would be a much more competitive series. And the Cubs have not been able to do that. Their starting pitching has been iffy. You knew that was going to be that was the really only question mark going into the playoffs, and it's showing right now against the Brewers, and the Brewers are kicking their butts for it right now. Do I think the Cubs still have a chance? Yes. You play the games for a reason. It's a lot harder of a chance, though, with how great this Brewers offense has been, and the power of friendship is real, man. It's showing, and the Brewers bullpen is legit. Their pitching is legit, and they have a great complementary offense of pieces to complement each other. Now, guys, my final take of this video. The Mariners are insane. Going into the series, you guys know I had the Seattle Mariners winning the World Series. They lost game 1, and I didn't feel great because you had to win 3 of 4. You're facing Skubal in 2 of these games. You know that for sure. They're down 1-0 in the series. You get Skubal game 2, and Skubal struggled against the Mariners, and they were able to dominate him. Especially Jorge Polanco was really able to put his stamp on the game. 2 home runs, and the Mariners ended up winning that game, and that proved to me Seattle Mariners are legit. And you guys will see later today as they play at 3 o'clock, I think 3:08 Central Time. They just beat Tarek Skubal, who's going to win back-to-back Cy Youngs with ease. And they're doing this without their ace on the staff, without Brian Wu, who I think should be in Cy Young conversations. If it wasn't for Tarik Skubal, I think Brian Wu would be there. Julio Rodriguez is playing as advertised. Randy's playing amazing. Cal Raleigh is starting to hit instead of just home runs. He's starting to hit base hits, which is amazing. And this bullpen, their pitching is something I really want to focus on. Their staff ERA was a 3.87, which is 15th in baseball. They allowed 84 home runs, guys. They did not allow a lot of home runs. And in the first game, in game one, they threw 5 shutout innings before they obviously allowed a run in extra innings. 5 shutout innings from your bullpen is insane work. And guys, beating Tarik Skubal is, you can't describe it. Watch the film. Watch Tarik Skubal. Watch how he plays the game. He's unhittable. And the Mariners made him look like he was a normal human. And they're going to do it again when they play him. And also a big thing that I want to focus on, Andres Munoz, one of the best closers in all of baseball. I think he had a 1.4 or a 1.7 ERA. One of the best closers. He usually only goes three outs, right? 1, 2, 3 an inning. In game one, he went 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down. Perfect. That's the first time in his career that he's ever done that, and it was in the playoffs. That's another thing that shows me that this team is legit. Your closer, for the first time in his entire MLB career, has a great inning, great outing, and is able to shut the Tigers down. And he did a great job of that, and the Mariners are scary, and they proved it, and they're going to continue to prove it, and I think they're going to win this series. Guys, I have one more take, and it's just a really quick one. The Blue Jays might compete with the Mariners. I mean, they've dominated the Yankees, and Trey Savage looks like could be a Cy Young candidate next year with how well he pitched and how disgusting his splitter looked. The Yankees look completely out of pockets or out of sorts right now, and the Blue Jays Mariners championship series is going to feed families. It's going to be a great series. But guys, that was just my little take at the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of John, your daily sports dump, where I give you guys some divisional series, MLB Divisional Series reactions. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another episode. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for sports updates and hot takes in real time. Join me next time on the John, where we'll be going butt jousting with fierce sports debates. Until then, keep your game face on and stay regular. This is the John.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes. Somebody open the window.